2,737.
We expect to be fighting for the podium.
Seventh, John Dart. 8th, 9th goes to Brian McCann, and finishing on our top 10, it's Ross Tatum in the 21 machine.
Will Bustler will be in 11th with Chris Stitz in 12th. Christopher Wade in the 53 will be in 13th with Sam Siegel in 14th.
Wow.
Joshua Altus will start in 15th with Trey Jackson filling in 4th. That of Cameron Sarton all the way down there in 15th.
All right, so
position. Brian Wilson will be in 7th.
P9. Okay.
First lap was way off.
Holy cow.
In 20th.
21st, it's Steve Bustler in the 00 machine with Jonathan Burt in the 6th. So driving for a note to watch out for in 22nd. 23rd is going to be Tyler.
What's the stage?
Pierce in 24th position. Doug Pierce, his last race of the season, is going to have to step away for medical reasons for that 39 machine. We hope that for Doug moving forward, his health does get better. Jay Becker going to be starting in 25th position with Cole Sacchetti back in the driver's seat. Good to see the 42 back out there on track.
81 laps, pace, race.
Christopher Melton in 28th position for the 93 machine. William Duff in 29th. 30th will be Curtis Valechka in the 44 with Harrison Gerwitz as well as Peter Dillon.
I actually don't see it.
2 drivers racing here tonight. A lot of machines. There's plenty of space at the 2.66 mile course as the drivers.
Practice 45 minutes, qualifying 5 minutes, 2 laps, race.
Curious about
blah blah blah. Remaining time.
To tonight's race coming from the Texas Speed Sim Racing team. That's Jonathan Burt. Coming from a fast team that's already got an individual.
Let me see if it shows on the race picture.
Forward into tonight's race, starting all the way back in the middle of the field at 22nd position. Let's see if Jonathan Burt can cue him up. 6th machine, Jonathan Burt. It's Sam and Trevor up in the booth. You got us?
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going pretty good there.
Stage break is 20.
Feeling coming into tonight, it's
20.
Wild card race at Talladega. There's a lot of pressure on getting into victory lane. We know your team can be fast. What's the confidence level for yourself?
It's super high. I love how my team came out with our Talladega night paint schemes. We're super excited. We're gonna try to get me, Tyler, or David into the playoffs here. So we're gonna work together. We're starting a little back. That's normal for us. We're used to hanging out in the back, but we'll make our way up.
Wait, Jonathan, is that going to be the strategy tonight? Just hang out in the back, let the chaos unfold, or do you want to get up to the front, get some stage points to kind of help solidify y'all at points?
We were talking about
no fast repair, and only winner gets playoff points. So I'm probably going to play it safe.
Go for that.
Okay.
Go for that win at the end.
I like the call. Jonathan, we'll send you back to your team, but good luck here tonight.
So you're not going to be worried about any kind of aggression coming up to the stage break. You're just looking for checkers or wreckers at the end.
Speed sim
Yep.
10-4.
Burt's got starting deep in the field, back in 22nd position, but he's got a lot of friendly names around him with his teammates back there.
I will probably back off this. No, this is big field, 32. We'll just gauge it out here, I guess.
Okay.
As the pace cars about to pull up, we've got ourselves 81 laps to complete, but our stage break here this evening will be at the end of lap 20. So the driver's going to have a quick sprint. Who's going to be aggressive in the early going, or do you stay patient as those bonus points are going to be crucial?
Right, we're moving.
It is over as the drivers get themselves prepared into the restart zone. The Campbell Racing 215 is underway as our first drivers, Travis Stark, Andrew Medlin, are roaring down into turn number 1.
It's going to be side by side with those two. Not a lot of help from Ken Campbell now to Medlin, but Campbell finally gets to the rear bumper. Alex Jones.
ISOT has a little bit of a checkup. You're moving ahead.
As those top 4 trying to figure out who's going to get the momentum.
21 outside.
One out of turn number 2 down the long back straightaway. Christopher Norris going to be the third car on that bottom line side by side with his teammate. Question is going to be, will he jump up, try to help out the freaky fast guys with John Darts there in the 5, but that outside line prevailing halfway down the back straightaway.
Already one driver going to duck down into the 8th. That's going to be Brian L. Wilson, who's just trying to get out of the way. He got a good qualifying time. He got the pit stall that he wanted, but now let's just settle in the back and get prepared up front. Andrew Medlin leading that outside through with Ken Campbell. Campbell, known for being a very strong super speedway driver. Medlin is known for being up front throughout most of the race, but can he survive to the end, where it's been a lot of the unfortunates striking this 12 machine? But Travis Dart on the other foot, he wants a win as well. This 46 has been looking strong for most of this season.
And Travis has been looking really good throughout the course of the season. The question is going to be, can he survive the chaos that probably will happen tonight? Can the freaky fast team survive the chaos? A team that's known to be up front for a majority of the race, hard to get by but then seems to fall apart toward the end. Will they be able to hold on and finally get a good finish for all 4 cars tonight? But no separation between them. Basically, our top.
A little bit of momentum, 3 wide.
Something we don't talk about very often.
19 in the middle, back double file. 94 is following them.
Space for their
Right rear, 1 car still with you. Just a 94 outside.
Someone else kind of bump tracking them, giving a tap. That's not giving any airflow to that front grille, and those engine temps are going to climb. And at some point, if you're not careful, you can lose the next engine just as quickly as you got yourself up front. Slightly.
No clear momentum on either side.
2 laps in the book, and both of them led by the 12 main.
I let that 19 have my spot.
Trying to control that outside line, keep the 26 pinched down there. Don't
He's going again.
corner. Side drive to his advantage. A couple cars being really aggressive there on the start was the 19 of Jacob Grant.
They're going to close it up on him. 94 outside.
Jacob Grant going to try to go 3 wide again as he moves the 5 of John Dart up out of the way. Here comes the 21.
Now the 1's at the right rear. You are 3 wide.
19 machine trying to shove the nose to the inside of Zach Hall and go 3 wide again.
Jacob Grant is just
94 right front, 1 car right rear.
to get himself closer to
Back
the
3 wide.
He's got Ross State right behind him. 2 drivers that have raced with one another in plenty of different leagues throughout the history of their iRacing career.
No clear line again.
Themselves marching.
High side starting to move a little bit. 1 outside, 3 wide, 32 up top.
This Will Bustler just marching the middle lane.
Back double file.
You can choose to stay in the middle, bounce into that 3rd lane. There's plenty of space to go 3 wide.
How many cars we got in this pack?
Chris going 3 wide.
In this pack right here, we have...
Should be all of them.
Top 10 drivers get motivated.
Yeah, it's all double file all the way back.
If you're one of the drivers,
Hey, Charles, thanks for the like.
12, just searching for end
Really wanting to drop back.
points in general. You only got 2 more races left in the regular season after this.
But right now it looks pretty tame, except for that 19 trying to work his way through. But if you want to do that on the back stretch, I can try to guide you.
With how aggressive these guys have been, I don't know if there's a safe spot to really.
There's actually you've got a little bit of a gap from 3 cars back, and then a decent sized line of about 7 cars all the way in the back. If you wanted to fall in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars back, you'd have a gap.
Any sort of momentum.
When does it go single file, or does it stay too wide?
It goes single file, 7 cars behind you,
Where you want to go is right on board with the Super 53.
which is I think is probably where that 26 is going to go.
Yeah.
Start.
I think I'm going to next lap.
Okay.
Comfortable being that lead driver, and he's going to lose a lot of spots. But again, he's got to be careful trying to slot himself back in with the field. He will do so safely. But another driver to watch out for is this 53 that we're right on board, Christopher Wade. Known for being a very strong super speed.
He only just fell back 4 spots.
You actually were a dynamic.
That's not good enough.
For the longest time, and our.
Well, there's openings back there if you want to drop back.
I just want to be single file.
Where
okay.
on how we're going to see these drivers trying to.
But they've calmed down, so I might give it another lap.
Do you search for alliances that you previously knew, or do you stick with new alliances that maybe have been made?
It's going to play out throughout the course of the race. I mean, a lot of these guys race together for a long time in various leagues. They know how each other works. And then you have the team alliances. So, I mean, we could see multiple teams working with one another as drivers are comfortable with one another. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to who's on your bumper, who's in front of you.
21 outside, 1's thinking about going in the middle, 21 slammed the door.
The outside, trying to look for a little bit of space to get around the 15.
3 wide coming up on me. That's the danger.
From the 21 of Ross Davis, they have to tuck back in line.
Yep. 94 up high. You're going to be 3 wide right now. Bit of room though. 3 wide, few rows.
All right, drop back.
Okay.
Ross Tatum, as well as Joshua Alton's going to be working together, leaving Andrew Medlin and Ken Campbell as the lone drivers, as they're slowly getting some help from the 1 and the 10. And the group
you are clear to drop.
Wide, 4 rows.
1, 2, 3, 4. You got 1. You got.
See that out?
You can come back up bottom line. There you go.
Next in the corner, drivers are getting mixy and a lot, deciding it's not safe. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, lap 7.
You'll get picked up here in just a moment by Chris Stitz.
Ken Campbell.
I'm good. I got draft.
Okay.
2 wide now. It's going to be the 1 of Will Bustler. Back there to the inside of the 21 of Ross Tatum. That's going to be the first 3 wide action. But a lot of these guys feeling like, hey, we're 3 wide, lap 7. I don't feel safe with this. We're going to drop out of this. And right now, that outside line.
They fighting for position up there, and I ain't.
3 cars now, and each line is the inside line starting to prevail.
And just as quickly as you can show you've got a very strong vehicle, either pushing a driver, leading a lane, you can cause a bad reputation of maybe moving and pinching the lane a little bit too aggressively at times.
Are you bottoming
I
out?
think a lot of drivers realize.
Yeah, all around that turn.
Holy cow.
Well, I don't like this. Let's get out of here as that middle lane that is now turning to the outside groove for our leaders, being led by Andrew Medlin, still with Ken Campbell, and now they'll have Christopher Norris in the third in that middle lane. Zach Hall has just been lost from this teamwork, but Alex Jones, ever since Travis Stark kind of backed away, 45's done a great job getting that inside.
Yeah, got help from the 53 there. Christopher Wade, the 00 of Steve Bussler, as well as the 11 of Tyler Thomas. He's worked his way up there just inside the top 10, so that inside line's got a lot of help on that bottom groove. But I mean, they've got to get by that top line. 3 freaky fast cars with Zach Hall not too far behind them. He's behind the 10 of Jay Becker. So almost all 4 freaky fast cars lined up nose to tail with one another. And I gotta say, Sam, that's gonna be a hard combination to pass. But that inside line doing everything they can with Christopher Wade trying to push the 45.
Yeah, I mean, seeing where
You got a big pull here. 93's with you.
Driver, if possible. And for the 45 machine of Alex Jones, he's done a great job just staying low, but the middle groove just looking too strong. A couple of drivers decided to back out of this madness as it's starting to bounce up and look a little bit more aggressive. It's crazy to say, we're already about halfway through this stage.
3 inside.
Not to come across the line after the tri-oval. Create
93 staying with you. Going to give you a nice little shove again.
At the end of lap 20 in Talladega, looking at the pass, not a track that's known for bringing out a lot of cautions, but certainly whenever a caution does come out, you always know it's going to be a big occurring at some point. The drivers all know with no fast repair, one small mistake could be the end of your night in just a blink of an eye.
Yeah, all it takes is that one small mistake. These Xfinity cars are not the most stable when you're getting bumped by the car behind you. The next gen Cup cars, the trucks, really kind of sturdy when it comes to taking bumps from one another. These cars get a little squirrely when they receive a big push, so these drivers have to be careful of that. That one mistake could lead to the big wreck that could take out half the field. But right now, with the 3-wide race and the aggression we've seen, I got to say everybody's doing a really good job, and it starts to look like that outside line's finally died off, and we're back to 2.
Already starting lap 11. Just moving right along.
Trying to slot himself to the inside groove expectedly, but he's only back mired in 11th position. 11 laps going to be started here as we officially have marked the halfway of this stage. So our top 2 drivers, Alex Jones, Andrew Medlin, the top 2 drivers so far, and trying to stay in that position.
Everybody up front's back double file.
Andrew Medlin in the 12 machine, the only driver in the Talladega's history, as Talladega has been ran in every season for the Full Set Racing Series. The 12th only driver to get the pole, lead the most laps, and win. He did it back in season 2. He's going to try to do it here in season 5, as he's got Alex Jones trying to put the pressure to try to lead the most laps for himself up front.
I mean, these two just been going back and forth, just about who has the better push and turn them 4 down through the tri-oval. It's really kind of setting it up to who gets to lead what lap. It looks like this time it might be the 12 of Andrew Medlin, maybe a little bit of momentum from the 45. Medlin's going to lead that lap. Another lap led for him. We get closer and closer to that stage break. I wanted to say, because we get closer to that stage break, will we see some aggressive moves from guys further in the back of the field, like a Brandon Colley that's on the tail end of this lead pack? Try to get some of those stage points as he needs some to get closer to the top 12, or will we see guys just kind of take what positions they have and move on to race after the stage break?
Well, I can inform you that most of Texas Speed have decided on the let's just stay in the back and calm down and wait until after the stage is done before they start making any moves. Other drivers seem to be thinking they should start getting aggressive. Most of those drivers that wanted to get aggressive are already inside of our top 10. I mean, Jacob Grant, Tyler Thomas, Jay Becker, and Steven Bussler have just been so aggressive. Both, I mean, all 3 of 4 of those drivers are up 13 plus position before they started, showing out. Hey, even where you start doesn't mean that's right.
They are back 3 wide up front again.
We see here on the schedule, Super Speedway Racing, that's so different racing aspect of. Doesn't matter if you're in the back or up front, anyone has a chance to win here at Talladega.
That's the great thing about Talladega, the great equalizer when it comes to the Super Speedway race. Anybody and everybody has a shot at winning. It doesn't matter where you started. As long as you have the draft and somebody to push you, there's a chance that you're going to get a pretty good finish out of this. And I got
3 coming low.
car that really hasn't stuck to the plan. That 11 of Tyler Thomas on the inside line, 4th car on.
Got a little bit of help from the 17 right behind him.
Himself up there finally gets
17 inside.
The inside line has a little bit of help from the 94 of Joshua Altus behind.
And he's got a little bit of help in the form of the 42. He's now at your left rear as well.
Yeah, and if you were just joining us, you missed talking with Johnny right before we went green. All of Texas Speed racing in a different Talladega night scheme.
27 looking inside.
Wonder Bread
Door.
scheme for himself. And
Bumper.
when you see drivers go to
And clear.
and they're able to bring out some fun schemes that they want to bring out, majority of the field, you might be able to see some on some of these cars. For it being October, that is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and to show support is
clear low.
ribbon, and you can see that right one on the outside. That's Christopher Norris. But there's also a handful of other vehicles that are rocking some pink for support of breast cancer awareness.
It's always good to see. We saw a lot of it last week at Martinsville, or last week at Phoenix, with the pink and the breast cancer.
Look at you doing 190 mile an hour with one hand. Go with you.
Texas Speed guys coming out with the 4 iconic.
Ain't no problem.
We saw it. Talladega race, going to see it here in the sim world as well. So that's always fun to see. And it's always fun to see the kind of the different paint schemes week in and week out. Just kind of make you reminisce about movies or old races and stuff like that. But that third line trying to get started up again here. Same with the 21 of Ross Tatum, the 5 of John Dart. Will anybody go up there to help those two cars? They got a pretty decent run here down the back street.
We got a disconnect. There he is.
Yep, I see him.
No one else has really attached that third lane, and that means you're going to lose momentum. They can get a few positions. We'll start to face.
Did you say lap 20?
Yes, sir. Yep. So 5 to go.
Push as much as you want.
They gearing up for it.
Going to give up at a time where he's got to back off, conserve his energy.
Let me mosey on back here a little bit.
Our stage.
All right, 27 inside.
Stage again at the end of lap 20 as we are coming up to 5 laps to go, and we're in that zone.
Clear low.
If a yellow flag comes out, that could be the end of the stage if these drivers aren't careful.
Could be another thing we didn't touch on.
93 still with you. 44 now flying inside.
Should have been a caution.
Clear again.
This week, Steve Benjamin, Race Control, has the ability to throw a caution if need be, if it's deemed necessary. So we do have that extra little bit of ability to have a caution if we have cars going all over the racetrack and iRacing doesn't deem it to be a caution. So that is a possibility here tonight. But right now, 3 wide racing really starting to race.
Bottom and top side are kind of prevailing. There's only 3 deep up top. You got one coming back to you. Not quite sure exactly what happened to him, or he didn't like what he was seeing either. 26 inside. 9's following him as well.
To move to that third lane.
Here comes the 39 inside.
See where those cars are going to lie as they go through the triangle, across the line, in form.
Clear low.
Next 2 laps. Once the leader crosses the line, pit road will be closed. So if you want to do an early pit stop, you can do so. But if the only drivers that really can afford to make a pit stop, they want to get track position, would be pitting now when you've got to be in this lead pack. But I'm not expecting anyone to try that choice of doing an early pit stop when there is always a chance to try to grab some bonus points right now.
No, I don't think you're going to see anybody jump out of this lead pack to make a pit stop. I think everybody's going to get to the stage break.
Hey, you could always try to go down. You could always go down pit road and pit early.
To get to that magic number to make it.
There you go. A couple actually taking it.
But right now, Alex Jones, that 45.
He didn't make it.
Charged to maybe.
Nope. One went right through the grass.
Andrew Medlin. As actually Jacob Grant, the 19, he's going to pull off with the 94 of Joshua Altus. They're going to come down pit road.
Jacob Grant also having issues. He's sped on entry. He's going to have a black flag holding penalty, and he's going to go a lap down because of that decision.
A tough break for the 19 machine. He was so aggressive, got up there to the front, but now going to have that speeding penalty.
Working lap 18. 2 to go.
Only car 1 lap down unless they're able to lap the 94 of Joshua Altus. So at the stage break, we'll be able to get.
Only cars not in the somewhat pack are those that just went down pit road. There's really no stragglers.
An odd gamble. I feel like if you were going to make that gamble, you had to bring in more than just 2 drivers, at least 4 or 5. If you were hoping to stay in front of this lead pack, you're most likely going to go a lap down.
Nobody taking pit road this time.
Just top it off.
Coming to lap 19.
For tires, and he'll be rolling for himself, and the rest of the field full song and ready to be told. 2 laps to go before the stage is done. Only the top 10 drivers get bonus points, and based off where the drivers are running, that 10th place position would go to Tyler Thomas on the inside row, but it's been bouncing back and forth between the 3 wide of the 11, 32, and the 21. Everyone else in front or inside of our top 10 comfortably.
Yeah, everybody inside the top 10 comfortably. It's that third, it's kind of that 3 wide on back, and they're going to have to deal with the lap car of the 94 of Joshua Altus in the next you know, probably half a lap or so, 3/4 of a lap, as he's all by himself, just now going through 3 and 4. The lead pack entering turn number 3, so they're going to have to
coming to start lap 20.
Traffic here before the end of the stage, and this could cause chaos for these guys if they get to really being 3 wide. It could almost be 4 wide as they go by that 94 machine when they catch up to him. So we'll have to wait and see.
26 inside.
Right now, Alex Jones trying to hang on here, get a little bit more help from the 53, the 00, and the 11. To try to get out in front of the 12 Andrew Medlin. But Medlin with a lot of help from Ken Campbell and Christopher North, doing a great job controlling the race so far.
The times
93 stayed with you that entire time.
stayed on the lead lap by himself, but the drivers up front. Andrew Medlin leads the way. Ken Campbell going to be in second, the middle row. Looking strong, but Alex Jones for just a slight push for Christopher Wade.
Are they actually going to make it?
Marching on that outside.
Looks like it so far.
Steal any positions they can, and maybe even maximize on their points, as that third lane just got a huge run on the backstretch.
It'll be about the first time I've ever seen it.
Zach Hall going to try to go up there, upset his teammate through.
Bottom and middle line are moving. Top line kind of stalled out a little bit.
Christopher Norris, that losing a little bit of momentum, though. Can they get it back here off of turn number 4, coming down through the tri-oval?
Dang, congrats to them.
Good pack.
It's going to be a battle between the two.
There you go.
5 to see who's going to get the stage win.
That's good news to know for later in the race.
Points and El Gano cross the line. Winner of our stage here.
Yeah,
Campbell
I agree.
Racing 215. Give it to the 12 machine of Andrew Medlin. As the rest of the field lineup going to be Andrew Medlin, Ken Campbell, Alex Jones, Christopher Norris.
Mr. Medlin took the stage.
Jay Beckard going to be your top 6. Then also Ross Tatum, Stephen Benjamin, and Brandon Colley going to be your last of the top 10 that crossed.
Medlin, Campbell, Jones, Norris, Hall, Wade, Becker, Bustler, Tatum, and Colley.
For this field, as everyone's going to slow down, trying to wait for the pace car. As they're doing that, actually, I think it might give us time to go to a quick commercial break for ourselves up in the booth. As you're watching the Full Send Racing Series, they're in race number 13 at season 5. It's been a good one here at Talladega. As you're watching the Campbell Racing 115 here at Talladega. We will be back right after this. We'll also try to interview our stage winner, Andrew Medlin. We'll be back in just a few.
Catch the 1 car.
There you go. Get on his back bumper. That way when you come on down pit road, you're not losing any extra time. Although he doesn't seem too worried about it. There's a 10-car gap between him and the next car.
Pit boxing 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
That's it, go. Line up single file. Catch the
All right, so you took rights. You thinking just lefts next time in fuel, or no tires next time?
Under green.
Past
Lefts.
the 38, past the...
Okay.
Under yellow, right.
Okay. I imagine your tires were still 100.
Yeah, I don't think you gain anything by getting tires in this car.
No.
Especially this track. Even a pit exit is no problem on old tires.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
There is actually a bump at pit exit, I've noticed.
Race 13,
in
215 at Talladega.
I actually got caught kind of unawares and spun it out.
Winner, and see how they're feeling after those first 20 laps of the race. Andrew Medlin and Sam Trevor up the booth. You got us?
Got a copy, boys.
Well, Andrew, you find yourself winning the stage and getting those bonus points. It's so crucial on where you're at, man. How are you feeling? How's the car feeling after those first 20 laps?
It is. I mean, you know, it was nice to see a lot of patience executed there from everyone really in that first stage. Obviously, the stage win doesn't really get you the big win. That's what we're here for. 13 points behind the cut line, and yeah, just trying to hopefully bring it home in one piece. If I can somehow get lucky enough to win, that'll be great. But there's probably, what, 30 other drivers here that have just as good of an opportunity. So we'll see if we can keep the nose clean here for the second stage.
Now, Andrew, I'm curious. You guys, you, Campbell, and Norris were all running that second line. Is it a preference to be up there on the outside line, or is it just kind of you guys went where there was clean air and were able to hold on to it?
Yeah, we really liked how that second line was running at the beginning of the race. As you saw at the start, I elected to start on the outside just because I had the teammates out there. We wanted to try it out. It was working good, and I think I led most, if not all the laps in that first stage. So gave us room. We didn't need to worry about getting down.
Is the broadcast talking to Andrew right now?
So
Yes.
we stuck there.
What's he saying?
The race is going to be
Just talking about how the middle line was very, very comfortable during the beginning part of the race and working his way to the front. Right now he is up 14. So I'm sorry, he's back 2, but I'm guessing
third place on this restart on the inside row, but he's gonna have his team again.
Josh Alstis is up 14.
To align one another, but hey, Trevor,
Was he in the middle row to win that?
nerves are
Andrew Medlin is
there. I mean, he know all about it. It was so close.
Oh, I didn't see where he was to win
Really
it.
strong car this season.
I can back up if you need me to.
To hang on.
I was just curious which line is more dominant. Like, which line do I want to be in up front at the end?
The middle and high line later on in the race is definitely the place to be, and that seems like that's been the case for any series.
Altis is ready to take a
10-4.
Grant did get the lucky dog. He'll be at the end of the line. All 32 drivers are back on the lead lap. No more stage racing. It's all about who's going to get the win this evening as we're back to green flag action for the Campbell Racing 215. It's Altis, Alex Jones, both heading down into turn number 1.
Down into turn number 1 they go, and it's going to be who can get to whose bumper the quickest to give that line a shove. Right now it's Campbell in the back bumper of the 45. A little bit quicker than Medlin can get to the rear bumper of the 94 of Joshua Altis, and should allow the 45 of Alex Jones to get out to the lead and give him choice if he wants to go to the bottom or if he wants to stay up top. Or will Campbell just shove the 45 out front and drop down in front of the 94?
He's going to hate me not going with him.
Ready, but the outside line's looking really strong.
You got
That's a little too early, though, I think.
Yeah, you have to go where you got to go. He might be trying to go to the back.
One looks to be there just yet, as Will Butzler is going to choose.
Well, he only lost one, but if I pull out, he ain't going to help me now.
Yeah, leader from the high side just ducked low, and so far top 2 in your lane are completely clear. You're next to P2 on the bottom, coming up to who was the leader.
Andrew Medlin caught the apron as well, but does a great job hanging on to it. You can see how much momentum lost the inside line. As the top 3 clear, it's going to be Brian McCann in 4th place. It's going to be side by side with Alex Jones, and those 3 now have lane choice. Will Colley jump down in front of the 45, maybe get a little bit of hope to see if he can get by the 32 and the 15. But
Still inside.
Tail's going to be Zach Hall and King Campbell down the back straightaway.
That's
Doing a great job running that white line.
with Brian McCann. You also see his hands. They are working with this direct drive wheel force feedback. You've done it before. Very strongest force feedback. There are bumps that you have to worry about, and really the sensation of
94 is having a little bit of difficulty in the center of the trioval. Have to watch him a little bit later on.
Wheel it through the trioval as the 94 once again just
Had me a little worried.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it could be a choice on the fact of how old those tires are.
All right, pulling back side by side.
Like stuff that he had right before the stage ended.
That could be that. Could upset the balance of that 94 machine, but the last 2 times he trial, like you noted, has not looked comfortable. McCann, you can see there a little bit of wheel adjustments in these cars. You got to deal with the bumps. You got to deal with the aero sensitive when you're close to somebody, when somebody gets on the bumper. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into super speedway racing that these drivers have to be aware of. with these cars with that direct.
Got the 53 down low, is kind of running right in the middle of the lane, not necessarily on the yellow.
Stay high.
That will input's a big deal.
No, I mean, Bill put
Can you call out the names around me?
Absolutely can. Brandon Colley, Christopher Wade are right in front of you. Jay Becker and Ross Tatum are behind, as well as Jacob Grant and Andrew Medlin. 19 going to try to look high. We saw him do that earlier. As of right now, though, he really doesn't have too much help. The 11 is back there with him. If you want me to count down their run, I absolutely can.
Anytime.
Negative, staying here.
Okay, 10-4.
A little bit of help from the 11 of Tyler Thomas being the one outlier from Texas Speed.
All right, 3 wide. You're in the middle, obviously.
38 to Christopher Norris recovering from his penalty. So guys being aggressive here on the start.
19 still up high, right by the wall. 94 down low. Again, he's running right in the middle of the lane.
stretch. Josh Wallace looked like he was going to show the signal. He was going to go backwards instead.
All right, going to get a little bit of a pull here.
Down the 94. Again, second car on the inside. He is hurting their momentum. It looks like Zach.
All right, 19 still outside, 94 inside. Now 3 by 3 by 3, at least 3 or 4 rows deep. Hold your line.
He's willing to make some moves to get people out of the way, but it's going to be more difficult.
11 on your right rear, 12 now down low. 21 with you, 53 on the bottom.
Make sure the 19 is. He's done a great.
High side's falling back just a tad.
Help get this 99 machine.
19's making contact, 3 by 3 for your first 3 rows.
If you lay a bumper to somebody at the wrong time, you really upset the race car. The car gets really light out of the corner of turn number 2 out of turn.
You're still in the middle. 11 up high. 19 up high.
3 wide.
Bigger run in the middle. You got it.
15.
Yeah, it is 3 wide all the way through. Some patience of drivers not making a choice.
Trying a little bit of side draft on the high side.
You know, a couple of drivers that were willing.
That's going to separate the high side just a little bit.
Go, get up front as quickly as you can. The middle groove looks to be smooth, but everyone's showing some pace. Also trying to give each other as much space as possible. It's the fastest, you could say, freeway out there, as you got your 3 distinctive lines. Those dotted lines are really going to
still 3
for some on where you want to place yourself. But for other drivers, they like to merge over into lanes, try to cause some more spacing, maybe give some airflow to the driver behind, or it's to cause a little panic to drivers who get that are outside based on that.
One completely lost, 99 giving you room, no side draft attempt. Back double file. Good job, sir.
Feeling to be
No, it's you basically go from being semi-relaxed to white knuckle.
21's going to go ahead and try to take that run outside. So far, not much help with him.
Come down with the car to your inside.
One car is up there as well. 99 way back.
Now, having said that, the outside line kind of
38's with you.
Here comes the 21 of Ross Tatum and Will Bustler. They're going to
leader on the bottom side, playing a little bit of a Houdini trick on everybody.
They're number 2.
We're getting to see both our driver cams, Andrew Medlin on top, Brian McCann on the bottom, and both
3 by 3.
Pretty close to one another in proximity, as you see that
leader's in the middle line.
He's on the inside on track, top of on our driver cam, and stuck in the middle.
12 low, 1 high, still in the middle. 38 with you.
And it's got Christopher Norris on that back bumper, but they really have nowhere to go. It's more
38's Chris Norris.
Try to build momentum up and assist the drivers that are in front of you. You got to be patient, not give a back bump when you're that 3rd, 4th driver in line.
You don't want to bump. You can't push the pusher, as they say. It's the last thing you want to do.
21, Ross Tatum, taking it 3 wide for the lead.
Maybe going up and blocking the 21 or Ross Tatum. And here's another thing we haven't touched on. You know, super speed racing, one of those things that can turn into a fuel mileage race. And for these guys like Alex Jones, Ken Campbell, Ross Tatum.
A little bit of contact, 32-15. 32's going to give him his shove.
Really hurts your fuel mileage compared to guys like Andrew Medlin, Ryan McCann, Christopher Norris, who are all in the draft, not having to run full.
One's still outside, 12 down low.
Run as many laps as, say, the guys back in the pack that are in the draft.
Yeah, and
21 falling back. You'll be back double file before you know it.
The term draft is when you have the car right in front of you, you're following them.
There you go, back double file. High side clear.
Over top, and it allows you to, you know, the closer you are to the truck in front of you, the less dirty air and less kind of friction that's dealing with you, and it allows you to drive a little bit faster because you don't have that drag effect on it. More drivers in line. Usually that means you're going to be going the fastest. So drivers are putting on a show in that middle.
38's going to try to look high. No immediate help. 19's going to stay with you.
No, not helping at all. Side drafting is a thing, and that's when you just get as close as you can to the car to the inside of you, try to take some air off of them, slow them down.
In the middle, kind of tight. Hold your line.
The outside line to jump in front of the 21 of Kim Campbell. He's trying to
38 on you tight, 19 right with you.
Get there and get with his team.
12 low.
To see if he can maybe drop in front of the 8 of Brian McCann. But that outside line, the third groove, they get up to about the third car on that outside line. We've seen him get all the way up to the lead, and then they just fall back as people bail out of it. So I'm questioning his call by Norris. If he can get a good enough push, might be able to drop in front of that gap.
Yeah, try to find any position, and if that gap can be made, just get a little bit closer. Stay with your teammates.
Hold your line.
Hold your line.
Hold your line.
Good job.
Fall to
the in-game spotter.
Right.
It stops to be happening at any moment, but
oh, got you.
Hold your line.
Fuel pit stops is going to be the interesting call. Like we said before, there are times this race could turn into a fuel mileage run. And
3 wide, you're in the middle.
Looks like we can make it to lap 60 on fuel.
Low.
You don't want to be these lead connectors.
Hold your line.
Teammate of
okay.
From Fast Racing leading the outside lane and
hold your line.
Inside through. Sabato still led by Alex Jones, and Jones has continued to stay up front the majority of this
hold
run.
Your line.
Yeah, been up front basically since the drop of the green flag. Able to get up there and kind of lead the inside line all the way through the stage break. Now leading it again here. The first.
All this is for nothing. We got a pit.
The stage breaks doing a
yeah, right.
Inside line. They have a little bit more momentum on the inside compared to the outside.
Let's hope they don't get aggressive.
It's kind of the reverse. Right. So on the first 20 laps, the outside line being the most dominant. I think that's just because of all the shuffling we've seen with the guys going 3 wide.
Is that Ricky Bobby's Wonder Bread car behind me?
It's right behind you?
11. Is that the paint scheme on 11?
Close. Not quite, though.
Oh. What is it?
It's more of a Jeff Gordon white, red, and yellow with blue flames. It's kind of a very, it'd be considered a pretty bad knockoff.
But trying to stay as calm as they can. We have some sponsors that we do have to shout out and say thank you to for the Full Send Racing Series. Starting things off with Butt Kicker. Feel what you've been missing. Kicker is where you go to get your...
The leaders have stayed in that middle line the entire time.
Get more...
There you go. There you go. Good job.
Today.
They hit on that outside line.
Yeah, 11 got a little aggressive.
Kicker. And what do you need to attach that butt kicker to? Well, that's when you go over to our next sponsor, the Next Level Racing. Racing is your racing rig to make sure that you're prepared for the...
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be modeled after the Wonder Bread car because it says shake and bake on the side.
Racing rig just helps.
But it's, yeah, whoever did it did not do a very good job.
To put on your next level of racing action. Go check out their budgeted items and more expensive items, as well as a great purchase to grab.
3 wide right now for the lead.
Studios button box. Go over to the NC Sim Studios on Instagram, on Facebook, on Etsy. Go purchase your button box today. It helps as a driver, helps as an admin. Getting your button box.
Hold your line.
Moving forward. And the last major sponsor being from the 77 crew of a Will Bus, being that, being that William Dunn.
You're in the middle.
It's the On the Throttle podcast. Well, just released yesterday. It was episode 74. Talk about AJ Allmendinger's win at the Roval as well. Talk about future races, different things that could change in NASCAR. Go check out the Throttle podcast today if you need to listen to a podcast to help you through your daily adventures. Well, Trevor, sponsors out of the way. We're about to get
338, very, very aggressive with coming down, trying a little bit of a side draft. I mean, you're pretty much double file in that lane.
We've been 3 wide essentially from about lap 4 to now. I kind of figured these guys would run 2x2 for a majority of the race toward the end. But
did you say 38?
Yeah. The hot pink car on the high side leading that line.
At the same time, not surprised. We're at Talladega. There's plenty of room to run 3 wide. So why not take advantage of it and see if you can gain a little bit of track position?
Once you also see 3 wide, now that you're stuck, you can't really advance very often. Sort of lane starts to move, you can find a place to slot yourself in. And most of the time, you're just stuck to the mercy of the lane that you choose to be in. And that's why we see some drivers decide, I'm not going to be a part of this, and back out of this racing excursion. And most drivers, when they come to a super speedway, they like to have a spotter or that for some they have a vertical that iRacing gives them, or they get a
Hold your line.
consistency spotter. Other drivers like to have a real life person feeding them information of that they're 3 wide, 2 wide, who's closing in, what lanes having the best
Hold your
momentum.
line.
Usually we see in other leagues, there's about 3 or 4 drivers that have a real life spotter. There's only one tonight. It's Brian McCann in the 8. He's the only driver with a real life spotter assisting them here this evening.
Yeah, that probably makes things a lot easier for Brian McCann getting that.
32 backed off to 15, thinking he had to cool off a little bit.
Who looks like they're pushing low, who looks like they might be, one to avoid. But, I mean, that's the nice thing about iRacing in the sim. It gives you options to what fits you best. Do you want to have a real life spotter? Do you just want to go with the default iRacing spotter? That at the
15 right now is the overall leader.
That sometimes can be a little bit slow telling you that you're clear, or do you go with an outside app like those outside sim apps that can help you out? And the options to these drivers.
Where does it get single file at?
That's a full line.
Let's take a look.
Hold your line.
Not until about
Stand there for a second. So back
P20.
racing here. Alex Jones still in the lead. Kim Campbell in that middle line. With Christopher Norris still in that third line all the way to the outside.
If you were somehow able to work your way to the bottom and let 6 cars go, you'd be able to come on back up.
To Zach Hall in the 32, the 15 to Kim Campbell has been kind of stuck there on the bottom, the inside of Brian McCann since they dropped the green flag. So 12 not able to get back up into that lead spot. Probably not in a bad position as we touched on earlier with the kind of fuel strategy here.
You feeling a bit anxious in the middle?
Best call for the 12 is pit stops probably.
No, I'm just trying to think about what we're gonna do for pit.
10 to maybe 15
Well, working lap 40 out of 81, so coming to halfway next time by.
Their pit stops. So one of those things that
your fuel looks like it's showing 11.6.
right now. Everybody just still 3 wide racing through 3 and 4, trying to shuffle and see where they can go. I think we got a message there. Sam lost his power, so he'll be back with us shortly. Once he gets his power back on, Robert Moyer might jump up in the booth with us to fill in for a quick second while we deal with some technical difficulties. But out front, still Kim Campbell in the 15. He's clearing that inside line, and sounds like Robert Moyer is ready to jump up and fill in for Sam for a second. So, Robert, you go from running the cameras now to getting to talk here a little bit.
That's right. Super Speedway Racing here at Talladega, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to fill in for Sam Dyer until he comes back here as he has a technical issue. But, yeah, to say what you're saying there, Trevor, that inside line is looking pretty good right now. You look like you can see right now if Christopher Norris wants to. You can tell, I think, the conversation in that Freaky Fast camp right now, you can see Ken Campball is leading
clear up
with Zach Hall, right behind him. But then you got Christopher Norris with Ross Tatum on the outside in that third lane, and I think Zach and Ken want to go up and help. Christopher.
19's going to leave you. Take it high
because then that just opens.
One car's going to go ahead and fill that hole.
Take over that position. So Christopher has to figure out what he wants to do if this is the game plan to try to get
19 again. Jacob Grant.
Yeah, I think he's wanted to jump down in front of the 30 or the 8 there. Brian McCann just hasn't been able to do so. Now he's got help from the 19 of Jacob Grant, who jumped up to lead that outside line. And this could give that 38 enough momentum to maybe pull down in front of the 8 of McCann, who's left about a car's gap between him and the 32 of Zach Hall. So, I mean, if Norris can get that, that'd be great for that team.
3 middle, 12 low, 21 up high.
Pit stops come around, but right
one car is still with you.
It's kind of been that ebb and flow with that outside line.
3 wide, 3 rows.
He drops out of the line, or they lose a little bit of momentum. They go back to battling for about 6th on back, and then come back to the front. So it's kind of been a cycle for these guys. But right now, Jacob Grant doing a great job in that outside line, leading them all the way up to battle for the lead with the 15 to Kim Campbell.
Well, that's what I was ready to say. It looks like we've got that 19 said, you know what? Now we got another 1, 2, 3, 4 cars on that third line. And now you can see the difference where now they are up to Ken Campbell besides Zach Hall. And now Christopher Norris might pass his whole teammates and, he has a chance to get down. And no, can Ross Tatum give him a bump? maybe help him get past his teammate Ken Campbell? And it doesn't look like it. It looks like that third lane is going to stall out again as that 19 is, oh my goodness, I don't know where he wants to go.
Hold your line.
Alex Jones being aggressive goes from the top all the way to the bottom now to block the middle lane. I mean, he's going.
Is that Jacob Grant? Is that the one that was passing me at Martinsville?
But one of the mentalities of super speedway racing.
Jacob Grant is in the lead right now. That's the 19, the one that took you 3 wide and went up high a little while ago.
I mean, that's where you got to be careful, man.
No, I'm talking about Martinsville. Whenever he was in second place, but
Killed the moment.
was ahead of me in the lead and got a black flag. You remember that?
Ken Campbell.
Yeah, you're right.
Brian McCants. Now those three.
Is that the same guy?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
One another in that middle groove. It's going to be Andrew Medlin in 12, third car in line on the bottom. The lone man out from that team that's not lined up. And now Jake Grant in the 19 really backing up that middle line. It's allowed Alex.
All right, you are clear low. No, you're not. Disregard.
The middle, and this is where it could get dangerous.
Clear behind the double O.
Oh my goodness, well, we're halfway, past halfway of this race here, Trevor, and man, did it ever get exciting?
99 low.
These guys all of a sudden, they said halfway, and the action started picking up. You had Joshua Altus there making a big move. Grant going high, low, all over.
5 car coming up.
He wants to be.
Left rear.
These two are now up here in the middle, leading the line and leading the race for first and second position here right now. Now, here the question comes is everybody went down and made a pit stop on lap 21, lap 22 there, Trevor. Joshua Altus pitted on lap 17, so he's a couple laps short.
Working lap 45.
And these guys are here. Now, I know you can save fuel, but he's still a couple laps short that these guys here are going to be able to run this blue, the lead pack. So he's going to have to make a decision to get down in that low line to make his pit stop. You don't want to be stuck up on the high side because you could run out of fuel.
Yeah, it's going to be the interesting part for Altus is when does he have to make that pit stop? He spent a lot of time running behind the 45 of Alex Jones, so able to save a little bit of fuel. Might kind of be on a similar pit lap as the 45, maybe the 15 of Ken Campbell, the guys that were leading their respective lines, but definitely going to be 1 or 2 laps shorter than the rest of the field with that kind of off strategy that he had to pull. And being up here in the front, leading the pack, not going to help him with that fuel mileage at all either. The same with the 19 of Jacob Grant was on the same strategy as well. So we'll have to wait.
They just hung the 19 out to dry.
Decide to make their pit stops, and here goes the
bottom 2 lanes.
Out by the 15 of Ken Campbell. As Campbell's had enough of
5 car coming up, still clear low though.
Zach Hall, and here comes the 3 of them.
0.45 a lap wide open.
Going to try to his way into this battle here too.
If we need to do fuel calculations.
Okay.
Pit stops and everything. We had Tyler up there for the Texas, teammates looking, making a good run here as Thomas is up here. But the thing here with this is. Trevor is also, we didn't talk about the back half. The guys who talked to him, Tony Brent and all them guys, the Texas, Texas Speed team. When do they start making their run? When do they start making their push? After the second, pit stop, I would imagine they're
going. All right, so earlier you said you wanted rights only under green, or lefts.
The field here basically all night.
I would normally do lefts here, but I'm thinking about no.
Back.
There's nothing. No tires?
Pole sitter.
Okay.
Yeah, I would hate for it to cost me anything. I don't think lefts cost anything, but
at the beginning of the race, all the way down.
You don't really need it on the exit here, so I just think don't take it.
It's off this lead pack.
Okay, so no tires and just fill it up. Got it.
And yep. I think that after that pit stop, after a green flag pit stop, you'll start to see those guys.
All right, check forward. If we can windshield tear up or no?
Right now, doing what
yeah.
Okay.
If we can do 8.5 gallons is all we need, that's our target.
They're 3 seconds off the lead draft, and if
because that's 1 can.
All right. Do you want to go to 10.2 in case of a green white checker, or leave it at 8.5?
Well, let's hope maybe they got some allies that are going to be able
tough.
To, you know what I mean? Go in and have.
That is right. Leave it. Fill it up.
Well, you are correct. We are on lap 50.
Because that's only going to net me 1.5, 2 seconds, I think, on the track.
Race is looking pretty good right now.
I don't know, maybe more. Maybe it's 3. But still, I don't think that's enough.
Clean for super speedway.
If you had a group of guys all doing that, like 3 people, and get enough gap, you can create 2 packs.
Cutting that gap, 3 gap, you know, 3.
But I ain't got nobody to do that with, so.
Closer to, you know.
All right, got it up. Filling up, no tires with a tear off.
Or get
Yep.
you know, a whole bunch of cars to be able to come in and help them, you know, hopefully lead bound these lead lap cars here. But right now it looks like it was heating up there for a little bit. Now it's all settling back down as we got Ken Campbell, Zach Hall out here leading the way. We got Ryan Lynch looking pretty good in that number 3 machine here. I haven't talked much about him. He's up.
All right, it's back double file.
4th
19 is down low.
Still looking really good in that number 1 car that needs a solid finish this season. And Will Bustler is a fast vehicle. He's a fast guy, but he just hasn't had the finishes all season there, Trevor. So he's going to have to figure it out here, you know, coming to the end of the season and start getting that team flipped around here before the season ends.
Yeah, Will Bustler, one of those drivers.
All right, one car's couple peeling off, going down pit road.
Like you said, had the finishes.
19 included.
You know, he's wanted to get. Does come in tonight, 8th in points.
How many on pit road?
Right now there's 2. Joshua Altis and Jacob Brandt.
Actually, some close races.
You're still clear low.
Pit road.
That ain't enough. They got to have 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's definitely not enough. I'm sure they were hoping at least 1 or 2 more would go with them.
These guys are right on the.
Be on the lookout for 3 or more.
Yeah,
10-4.
30 laps to go here, and we just were talking about it. When
Is that Jacob Grant just disconnected?
they came down and made a pit stop together, and that would be Joshua.
Yeah, sure did.
Grant, the number 94 and the number 19 are making their pit stop. So now the question is,
interesting.
When do these lead, or when does this lead pack start bailing off? When does cars start bailing off here? Within the next 10 laps here, I would imagine these guys are going to be.
There's a whole pack, but none of them signaled as far as pitting.
Or
I know, that's what I was thinking.
51. And oh my goodness, hang on.
Here comes the pack.
So you can almost imagine all these guys are going to come in this time.
Yeah, we got to pit soon anyway.
That's a huge mistake.
Yeah, what are you seeing? 4.5 in your tank?
Is he
Clear low.
the server?
No, I'm just saying, I don't want that. That's a big pack there.
Yeah.
Man.
That
I'm thinking pit here.
His teammate,
Okay.
which he's going to lose a lot of time, as I believe he's probably got a black book
Okay.
he's going to have to deal with for the unsafe pit entry. But I mean,
Still nobody's signaling.
making these pit stops, you come down.
Don't forget pit road speed. If you've adjusted your brake bias, adjust that back.
Like that, and for Ryan Lynch, it's going to cost him a lot of time, as we expect to see the second pack to start to get ready for pit stops this time.
And they are staying out.
Joshua Altis too, wasn't it? I mean, he
10 cars coming in with you.
planned out, but we also had that stage caution, so that all worked out for, you know, Joshua.
I should be
And
able
it's only you 2.
any ground, but
I should be able to pick that pack back up though.
by himself.
The first pack,
to
yeah.
help. Yeah, I mean, one car's better.
Depending on what he does right here. Yeah.
You know, Talladega.
Yeah, he's going to have to see if he can fall in
That was a horrible entry, but I had flashbacks from
All right, he's rolling out.
number 2, I believe, behind the first group of cars that made their pit stop. So he's going to try desperately to catch up to the 12 Vander Medlin
That's it, go.
and hang on to that.
1. There you go.
See if he can get caught up in the next group of cars.
So the 2 of you should be able to pick up that car
Drivers
and make some decent speed.
can on pit road with the 10.
A little loose.
44 pit, but expecting more cars down pit road this time. Maybe
That's what I was saying.
these guys working their way down pit road. We'll have to wait and see if our leaders come down pit road. Looks like they're going to stay out for another lap or so.
He took less fuel than I did.
Along with Travis Dart and a couple other more drivers.
It's interesting that I'm watching Thomas there with the.
Well, only 2 of you came down, so I'm guessing he was already on pit road. The car that came with
was that
you is
him?
behind
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought that was the guy who came in with me.
They're probably like, okay, guys, here's the game plan. We're going to do this.
All right, here comes the pack.
And Tyler Thomas said, you're going to do what?
All clear,
Clear.
all clear.
Yeah, I mean, that happens sometimes.
That's the guy that pit with you. You are clear behind him. There you go.
Going into a race than what your team does, but you know, it doesn't hurt to get up there and maybe feeding information to his team about what's it like up front. Is the 3 of the Texas Speed cars.
And that second pack's coming up behind you also.
Grant, David McConnell, they were all down pit road this time by. Tyler Thomas up there in the 11 with Ross Tatum, Will Bustler.
94 outside. You're going to be coming up on some merging traffic.
Also up there in
94 is on you tight.
Still yet to make their pit stop as they're really stretching it on this run.
Yeah, they're stretching.
3 wide, back double wide.
All play out.
Bottom side's checking up. Slow traffic.
I don't know. Running it like this, staying out, banking on the yellow, really right now doesn't mean nothing much because the tire wear is not that crucial. I mean, it is, but it's not. So staying out like this, track position, I guess. I guess that, you know,
Clear middle.
would be the thing. The only thing out of this.
Clear low.
Some recovery.
See them get around Curtis Valechka, then a 27 of Peter Dillon there as those cars weren't able to get bunched up together. You see the three Texas speed cars right there ahead of them, but they should be the group time that Ross Tatum, Will Bustler, Thomas Tatum in the grass, hangs on to it. Great save there. Christopher Wade, Steve Bustler, William Duff, or the 93 of Melton.
Up top 3 wide.
It should be their final pit stop, and this should give
3 and 45 inside.
Green-white checkered, or 2 green-white checkers. This should put them into that window to be able to make it, not have to come down and make a pit stop there. So probably why they ran long. This is going to hand the lead over to Zach Hall. The 15 of Ken Campbell there. You see the 17 of Chris Ditz. We haven't talked about him at all tonight as he's leading that third group, and Ross Tatum having to serve a penalty for that.
Going to be Chris Stitz and Joshua Altus right in front of you.
This draft, and now going to need to guard for himself, and we'll have to see where the rest of that group comes out of pit road as they leave pit road. Here comes the pack into turn number 1.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Ross Tatum on that last pit stop, he was sliding, and unfortunately,
Boy, they were pushing that side draft. There is a car spun around on the bottom, and they're wrecking behind you. Caution's out.
The lead. We got John Dart looking on the inside here. So, man, side by side draft.
Good job.
And now we got the yellow. Oh no, Andrew Medlin's involved.
Medlin's involved. Brandon Colley's involved. I think the caution was already out, Robert, before that wreck happened. And not sure what that was for, but then contact with Medlin.
Dodged one of them.
Yep.
Brandon Colley gets caught up.
You coming down the top off?
Alex Jones gets a little bit of damage
Okay.
From that, but the original caution behind this pack, and then as they were trying to check.
That's right. We filled up on that stop. You don't need to.
Yeah, well, let's go back on the replay here. Let's see if we can try to catch. I think we can catch the first yellow, the original yellow, why it came out. Maybe we'll have to see here, guys. This is oh yeah, he spun it on exit coming out of pit road. That's gonna throw the yellow. Okay, so we got that part.
Can anyone tell me if
now
that
the problem is that what happened to Brandon Colley and all these guys here. So let's see. We'll go back here again. We're gonna see Bustler, but we'll hop up here to Colley. As the yellow is going to fly here, and now we're going to see what's going to happen. Looks like everybody's starting to check up, and it looks like, who was that? The 55. Okay, so we can go to Sam Siegel here, Trevor, and see exactly what happened here now. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see here. You can see right here.
Up a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like Sam Siegel came up into Andrew Medlin, unfortunately, and Becker was there, and then Sam Siegel is going to slide back down and just take the rear end off of Brandon Colley. And unfortunately, you know what? That's going to hurt because them two vehicles, the 99 and the 12, they were fighting for a battle, you know, for playoff points and to make it, you know, to the next round if they could have got that win and locked themselves in. So that could hurt.
Yeah, Medlin coming into the night 17 points behind Chris Stitz. Brandon Colley 34 points out from the cutoff line. Thankfully for Colley, though, I don't see a lot of front end damage on that 99 machine. Maybe a little bit of rear end damage. It looked like the rear bumper, kind of a visual thing with the new damage model. It's reattached to the car. So it's going to be a front end damage. Medlin, however, going to deal with left and right side damage. She got kind of sandwiched into the wall. So that's gonna really hurt the 12 machine, but it's going to save drivers like Ross Tatum, Ryan Lynch, guys that had, you know, pit road issues. They're going to be able to stay on the lead lap or get the lucky dog, get back on the lead lap. And this should put everybody in the window to make it to the end now and kind of really change up the orders. I believe it's going to be the 93 of Melton who's going to be the new race leader over that of Will Bustler and Tyler Thomas, as they were able to hang on, being that last group of cars that made their pit stops. They were able to hang on and stay in front of the pack when that caution came out.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Well, we'll see what Chris can do here, ladies and gentlemen, as we are under our second caution here tonight. So with that being said, we are going to step away for a quick commercial break, and we will be back after this quick word from our sponsors here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting and Full Send Racing League.
Did that one get a whole bunch of people?
Yeah, it did. Yep, on pit road right now, still Sam Siegel, Andrew Medlin, Jay Becker, William Duff, Ross Tatum, and Jacob Grant. There's a few on pit road. Most about Medlin, who won the stage.
They're 5 wide behind the fifth. Oh my, the 5 right here, this ain't gonna work. They make it last, bumping and banging to the end. They're beating banging for the lead. Sora still with a shot here, coming off a 4.
All right, man, we're going green next time.
Bottom line, here it comes.
Line up on
Oh
the
no, the car
outside
gets
road
run. It's gonna be that Nick Crawford. The 74 gets through somehow,
up,
and they just completely demolish one another. Driving down low, drifting up, trying to be the stealer. Here he comes, Cedric Hunter. He does it. He steals it.
But he somehow drove it in according to Reckon.
Oh, they wrecked! They wrecked each other! The top two bounced into one another, just too much of side drifting off of, and they gotta be careful.
Hey guys,
Oh no, the 4
first pit stop,
demolishes
there's
into
several
28.
that didn't announce your pit entry. It is a rule in the league, the warning for the first offense. So this is your warning. If it happens again, you get your black flag.
Get ready. The pace car is in. Green, green, green.
They're going. Clear low. Big run up on a high side.
Got
They
one
had to check
inside.
up quite a bit on the bottom.
Say hi, there's the car on the low side. Say hi, there's the car on the low side. Say hi.
There's nothing nothing up high. You are the high side right now.
Inside. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. The leader just did a 56.
Well, guess who's back? It is the Full Send Racing Series, race number 13. It's the Campbell Racing 215 at Talladega. My power went out for a quick second. Huge shout out to Rob Boyer Jr., who did quick double duty of commentating and producing. And Trevor, we're in the no man's zone. With that caution that just came out, it has changed up the game. And now it's time for these drivers to go absolute chaos on who's going to get the win here.
21 to go. 32 thinking about going high. He's got a little help. Caution's out.
Start making your moves, working your way forward. We got a spin in the back.
See Ross Tatum, Harry Gerwitz.
Turn number 3.
And Harris Gerwitz looks like he's got the most damage.
His night continues to go downhill.
And it looked to be just a bad bump. Jay Beckert into Peter Dillon and other drivers collected into the mess. The field was just hoping, hey, maybe we could get through this madness, and just wasn't the case.
27 and 91. 21 got a little piece of that.
A second on-track incident to bring out
27 Pete Dillon and 91 Harris Gerwitz.
Incident big enough to collect a handful of drivers to get major damage. Harrison Gerwitz as well as Peter Dillon could have required damage for the both of them as they slammed into one another into the outside wall. Collie, though, once again caught up in the mess, but not that much damage visually that we could see.
Yeah, I mean, this is the second time that the 99's been involved in something. He got clipped.
Ross Tatum in the 21 got hooked on the right rear a little bit.
Clipped by the 27 to Peter Dillon, and for the 99, who needs a good points night. I mean, 30 points outside of the playoff cut line. That 99 machine looking relatively clean on the right side there. A little bit of scuff marks, but it could have been a whole lot worse for him, Sam, being involved in those two incidents.
It absolutely could have, and another driver also caught up late in the incident was Ross Tatum, who got clipped, but it looks like it was just to his rear quarter panel and not enough damage for him to be worrying about either, as some drivers might be thinking, hey, coming to pit road, get some tires. Others thinking about staying up front. Christopher Melton, I've always feels like at some point at the race, we always see him march into the top 15, top 10, now leading here at Talladega with the time of that second caution. It's allowed this 93 to be in a spot where he's got to be careful. That last restart, he jumped ahead of everyone else pretty quickly. Almost was a complete sitting duck. We'll see if the 93 can learn from that mistake that he made on this previous restart.
Yeah, one of the things that you don't think about a lot, you on other tracks, you want to get the best restart you possibly can through the restart zone.
How you feeling?
Jump out in front and not have to worry about battle.
Good. I almost made a mistake there. Zach
you want to go
had a pretty good run on me, and I should have pulled out in front of him, but I didn't think he was going to do it in the turn, but he did it in the turn.
And right there, Melton went a little.
If that caution would have came out, it would have made me stuck on the middle.
Like you said, was a sitting duck. So maybe he learns from that and can hang on.
So next time when we go green here, unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to be on the bottom, but if I can get to the top side, that's where I'm going.
When that caution came out, give him this great track position. And Sam, I mean, that's where you want to be.
Down pit road is going to be Brandon Colley, Sam Siegel, William Duff, Pete Dillon, and Harris Gerwitz still down there. Andrew Medlin's going to get his lap back right now.
Drivers expected to bounce it.
Ross Tatum in the 21, he's fixing the right rear, pulling out of pit road. And Jacob Grant is
they're not racing for bonus
out,
points,
looks like.
Just the top 10. This is now all about the win. And there's a couple of drivers where if they get a win, this could change their whole entire season. I mean, Christopher Melton is one of them. If he can find himself in a victory lane and runs one of the next two races after tonight, I mean, runs the next two races after tonight, he'll find himself in the playoffs. There are a few other drivers who are in the same scenario. Tyler Thomas, Will Bustler, if they find themselves getting a win, they're battling for a chance to go for a championship. Will Bustler, excuse me, he's already inside of our top 12. He's currently in 9th, but you know, look at other drivers that are outside looking in. Christopher Wade is one of them, and certainly a game-changing night this race could turn into.
Yeah, it really could. I mean, you look down through there. Melton's run 11 races. Jacob Grant's already had his issues. He's done for the night. Christopher Wade would have to run the next two races if he was able to get a win to lock himself in there. And then Ryan Lynch, who's been up front, he had some pit road issues, but I believe back on the lead lap for himself. Ryan Wilson's there. I mean, if one of these guys outside our top 12 can get a win, I mean, this will really shake up the standings. As right now, John Dart, Chris Stitt's only separated by 1 point for 11th and 12th. So, I mean, if Edlin can maybe get back up there with the damaged race car and get a win, I mean, this could really shake things up going into the last two races.
It certainly could. Less than 20 laps to go in tonight's race. Thank you again for joining with us on your Tuesday night, watching the Full Send Racing Series on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. My name is Sam Dyer. With me at the booth is Trevor Earhart, as well as Robert Moyer Jr. running productions in the background. This race, only 3 cautions. 2 of them have been on-track incidents, and those 2 incidences have just happened recently. The first one in the middle of green flag pit stops. The second one, driver is just getting a little bit too antsy on bumping one another off the exit of the corner. And we're in that point where I think those bad bumps could equate to a lot more messes moving forward. And also watch out for the tri-oval. It's been a tricky spot for a lot of drivers during this race. A game very much out of control after a bad bump. If someone gets a little bit too aggressive and gives even a worse bump, that's the big one happen. Drivers getting in trouble just on the front.
Gonna be a little tricky getting out of this bottom lane.
Spots that you know, the car really.
Well, maybe the 32 or the 15 will have a bad restart. You're going to start fourth on the bottom, side by side with the 32. So we will we'll see. Not quite sure what all the teams are, but
that they want.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I'll find you a hole.
That 32 is going to go to the top side.
Side draft.
Yeah.
This time, if we get to 3 wide racing, as the laps are winding down.
Where are you going to give, or can you just take throughout the night? It has been a lot of patience in some areas. I think at this point, patience might have just ran out. Pace car about to pull off into pit road, and we get ready
Pace car's off.
to green flag racing with 17 laps to go here at Talladega for the Campbell Racing 215. This is only race number 13 of the season.
Green flag.
2 more after tonight that the drivers are excited for as we head to Las Vegas and Richmond to finish out the regular season before we take Halloween.
Very good job.
The playoff says green flag is
Good job.
Great launch for himself. Tyler Thomas trying to catch up for the 11. The outside lane looking a lot more solidified at this point. But we'll see if those bottom 2 drivers can make this work as they can go through center.
32's not ready to go there yet.
Tyler Thomas got to the rear bumper of the 93 a little bit quicker than he did the last time. But I don't think they're going to have the momentum that the one of Will Bustler, the 53 of Christopher Wade, they're going to have up the top.
4 wide, you're up top.
17 of Chris Ditson, you can just see.
Back 3, 17 in the middle.
Quickly,
32's with the 17.
3 wide down the back straightaway. He's not going to waste it.
You've got some help, but it's got 1 or 2 car lengths back.
And now falls in line behind the 53.
26 about to make contact.
Up to that third lane.
Too early.
Trying to move forward. Same for Zach Hall. Sticks one of those drivers
Contact.
inside of our top 12 and trying to stay there. Doesn't want
Clear middle if you want to go back.
Win scenario moving forward into Las Vegas and Richmond instead. Let's solidify those points, and that's what the 17's doing. Getting a huge push by the strongest team here tonight. That a freaky fast racing. Zach Hall, Ken Campbell, and Christopher Norris, the middle lane. Back to who it's been all night long.
Yeah, don't look too far behind them. They had Brian McCann there as well, but here comes the Texas speed guys.
26 back with you, 3 wide, 11 on the bottom, being really, really aggressive with the side draft. That just cost him.
Back. Jonathan Burton in the 6, not too far.
26 a little loose behind you.
Lined out the back straightaway as the team
about lost it.
Here, and the racing's starting to ramp up as we're 3.
28 inside.
3 wide in a moment, almost 4.
26 trying to catch back up. He's able to regroup.
Slot in and get near his.
Still 3, 93 and 4 on the inside. 26 with you.
This could be my one race that puts me in the playoffs. Same for Dan McConnell, as well as Jonathan Burt is in just a fight to get up front. Burt not attached to his teammates as well, as we've seen the 4 and the 28. And looking at the Texas Speed drivers, Tony Brent got the win at Daytona to start
15 to go.
Dramatic fashion as they came across the line in a photo finish, but this 28, he's still in a position where he might
big push here.
The super speedways if he gets himself in the right position.
Hey, why not go for the sweep? Get yourself an extra point as well for the win, but kind of stuck right now as there goes the outside line with the run. The 8 of
36 and 93 underneath you.
We haven't talked much about him since
You're in the 4th row. 26 going to try to line back up one more time. 15's going to come up, pick you up. So is the 32. You're 4 deep on the high side.
Trying to close in. As well as Alex Jones, who led him, who was leading that inside line for a majority of it. And here goes Zach.
32 is going to go ahead and take the overall lead. 15 right with him. Hold on to those guys.
Just splitting to the outside, saying, sorry,
3 wide.
We gotta go. As Zach Paul, Ken Campbell
Still 3.
To the outside lane. And for both those drivers, they've already found themselves with a great positioning points-wise. They're now no longer worrying about, hey, we're going to help a teammate out. Andrew Medlin's already so damaged. He's not a factor in this race.
Bottom side lost momentum. You're still 3.
It's still a position away from one of these drivers.
11 inside.
Scenario with these last couple of races left.
4 now inside.
A little bit of shuffling to the middle of the pack. Zach Hall, Ken Campbell have a bit of a shimmy on the entry turn 3. And it's still Stitz. Norris working the inside groove. And it's all pink for our first 3 drivers in the middle lane.
Yeah, don't count out that 38 of Christopher Norris. A sneaky good super speedway driver in that 38. He's going to now be the
94 inside.
Really died out.
Clear middle.
He stuck down at 17. Chris Stitz will bust the lead in the inside line with help from Christopher Wade. But here goes the 11. Tyler Thomas. He's going to jump up in front of Zach Hall now and try to lead that outside line as he leaves his two teammates of Tony Britt, David McConnell in the middle.
45, 42 inside. Clear all the way down.
We talk about Talladega. If you've got a running vehicle,
6 coming up inside.
it's great aerodynamics.
Clear middle.
A chance to run well here tonight. There are over 26 drivers that are still eligible.
13 to go.
And they can find themselves in a victory lane, being in this lead pack, being attached in some fashion to this lead group. There is a cluster of drivers that are completely off the pace because of all the damage they've been collecting throughout the night. But we are 3 wide for the lead. Christopher Norris, Tyler Thomas, Zach Hall, Ken Campbell rolling the top with Stitz in the middle, but deciding does he want to go to the outside lane, stay in the middle. Looks like a hold back. That attacks his speed. And on the inside, Will Bustler. Where does he go for the one machine as he's looking for some help? It looks like Stitz will fall to him.
Yeah, Stitz going to drop down in front of Will Bustler. That inside line lost a little bit of momentum. A big wiggle there from the 53 Christopher Wade. That's going to bunch up everybody as they stay off of one another, but everybody got really close there on the exit of turn number 2.
If you do have to get on the brakes, you are clear on the high side.
Behind him, pushed him and then just left him, but now all the way to the inside line. Now it's going to be the middle group led by Christopher Norris. He's out front with the 11. Tyler Thomas to his outside. Here comes Stitz back to the middle. Tony Britt helping that middle line with help from David McConnell and the 94 as well of Joshua Altus. And you can kind of see people hanging on to the back. Doug Pierce on the back of this group, and then run not too far off of them, Sam Curtis Valechka in the 44, Ryan McCann in the 8, Brandon Cawley, all kind of hanging off a little bit of this pack just in case something goes wrong.
I think they're feeling it. They know that something could go wrong very quickly up front. Just one bad bump and it could all go up in flames for a majority of this field. 11 laps to go. And it's Chris Stitz, Christopher Norris leading both of their lanes for themselves with a big wiggle off the exit of turn 2. This middle groove, there's not a lot of comfortability when you look throughout the night on drivers that have been stable compared to those that have looked very much unstable. Majority of those drivers that have looked out of control, they're all stuck in the middle of this pack.
Yeah, everybody just kind of, you saw at times in 94, Joshua Altus was kind of all over the place. He's up there in the middle. The Texas Speed guys, we haven't seen them up at the front of the field all night long, and now they're up here. So new players up at the front of the field that these guys have to deal with. 3 wide.
10 to go.
Wide beating and banging. Alex Jones kind of bouncing off of cars there in the middle of the groove. Everybody keeps it straight as the 94 jumps up in front of the 11 to try to lead that outside.
How many cars behind me until the pack runs out?
Going up.
Behind you, we are looking at
turn number 2. There's going to be big in the front for him to jump up.
7.
Let's say him big moments there throughout the field, and everybody able to keep it straight for now.
Keeping it straight for now, Christopher Norris. Love the fact that he's got a fast vehicle behind him, but you just have that
9 car going to be looking to the inside.
And trusting and working with this.
Clear low.
At some point, he's got to move and try to find a position to get 38 out of this lead position and maybe swap hands, get the 4 up there as a lead driver. It's going to take a lot of hard work, but you got to make your move now with 10, soon to be 9 laps to go. You're running out of time, and every small move and adjustment you make
9 to go.
could be critical to see what position you get at the end of the night.
Yeah, you can't afford to lift. Now you got to take every run that you can get, and that's what's going to lead to the potential of a big one, and everybody just holding their breath, hoping it doesn't happen, but knowing that it could happen in the back of their mind. Right now, 2 cars leading that outside line. It's the 94, the 11, more wiggling off the corner, more bouncing off of one another. Here comes the 3 of Brian Lynch. He's going to try to close up to the 11 of Tyler Thomas. Thomas doing a great job shoving Joshua, also shoving all the way out in front of the 38 now, but they're going to lose a little bit of momentum here through turn number 3. But here comes the 3 of Brian Lynch. He's caught up now, 3 cars in that outside.
And concern, watch out.
Clear all the way around.
This looks very much out of control. There's a bad bump to that rear end with how aggressive Tyler Thomas has been in the rear bumper. That outside lane could be the catalyst.
Big pull. There are 3 cars going through turns 1 and 2 right now on the bottom side. Lap down cars.
On the exit, 8 laps to go here tonight as drivers having some movement on the outside with Ryan Lynch joining.
8 to go.
Making some great moves on that third lane. This middle portion, you're just stuck. 3 by 3 by 3, and they just have to wait and see.
Lap down cars coming up or on the apron.
In front of them, expect to stay on the apron, getting out of the way as the field. Here we go as they blast on by the slower vehicles.
Yeah, everybody you see there, the 77 to 12, everybody getting out of the way. You can see the shimmying though from the leaders. A little bit of lost momentum on that outside line, though.
24 low.
Or
26, going to be looking high, clear low.
Some of them got into the outside wall in the back straightaway. There was a lot of movement. This is allowed Stitz a little bit of breathing room with Will Bustler. But now that momentum's starting to rebuild as they come through the trial road across the line. There's going to be 7 laps to go. And outside line trying to rebuild that momentum.
5 looking low. You're in the middle.
Communication. Some drivers weren't sure if the lap cars would go to the apron or stay on the inside lane.
Clear up high.
Space to go 4 wide if needed. Instead, they didn't need that much movement. More than 7.
And clear low.
Driver that's in the mix of all this, just trying to make a surprise run impossible. Watch out for the 39. Doug Pierce is still in the fight. Now, Doug, so this is the last race of the season.
Coming to 6 to go.
Come out with a spectacular run. He's only back in 19. There's not a lot of space for him to go, but what a storyline that could be for the 39 machine for his send-off race.
Yeah, very well could be a great send-off race for that 39 machine. This is hanging on now, actually going to go up and join this outside line that's now got help from the 6 of Jonathan Burt, the 9 of Brian Wilson, Blue Thomas, the 39 of Doug Pierce. And the momentum building up here as Tyler Thomas pushes that Penny 4 machine now 3 wide for the lead. 3 wide all the way back to that of about 15th. Here comes the 24 of Trey Jackson now into the shot as Zach Hall, Ken Campbell backed out a little bit with the 42 of Cole Savetti. Curtis Volechka. Inside line.
Tyler Thomas, he's sent it to the outside. Let's drive 4 wide as Josh Walton.
Check it up, check up.
They're going to have to try to squeeze and make some room. There's the tap to the 4. Melton, others. And
all right, sir.
as Melton comes back into the field, caution flag is out, and you can see that one come from a mile away.
That's all it took. A shove to the 94 got him to the inside.
As soon as I saw one get sideways, I was like, yep, that's it.
And ran out of space. Car contact made. The 3 of Ryan Lynch involved. 39 of Doug Pierce. I saw go.
Saw his door number.
Who was having a great run.
It was only the back half of that pack, though, so.
Yeah.
Sam was the first of what potentially could be a couple of big wrecks here at the end of this race.
Yeah.
We're still not looking good here.
When you saw them go 4 wide, some of those drivers, a lot of them were struggling.
As far as what?
Like 3 wide.
Track position.
Oh, yeah.
When you have to have perfection, 4 wide entering your corner, you set that sense it was not going to go swell. It didn't, way badly, bad bumps all around, and a big one, collecting a majority of the field. 3 drivers with required damage. Ryan Lynch, Curtis Volechka, and Steven Bustler going to be...
I started to get shuffled back on that 3 wide ordeal, and I got back there to where it was like 3 or 4 cars in front of me or whatever, and I was like, I'm getting out of this.
It's Christopher Norris, Will Bustler, Tony Brent.
Because if I was like in like the top 1 or 2 rows, I would want to stay in it, but...
10, but it's just, it was one of those wrecks where drivers were trying to slow down, trying to make some, maneuvers, but just once you turn into a pinball, you're stuck to the mercy of gravity and also inertia and all the physics around.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 2, 3 going down pit road.
They start spinning in front of you. The brakes only do so much, and cars sliding down the racetrack, up the racetrack. It
puts me on the inside again, don't it?
Yeah, right now.
So you just hit the brakes, hope you don't hit somebody in front of you.
Yeah, P17.
From somebody behind, and you can see all the chaos and carnage unfold there through 3 and 4.
Less than ideal.
Gonna try to make his way into pit road, which he initially does get to at some point. But looking at this field,
think they'll make it to the white flag.
Still in the fight.
That's gonna be that's gonna be iffy.
Situation for the
Unfortunately, they probably will.
Thomas still in the fight. Also,
unfortunately for me.
I mean, it's the 4th caution, but of course, one of those was first stage, so still not too bad for 30+ cars.
Yeah, no, they're driving amazing up here.
Or is it going to be Texas Speed that can figure out a way? Tony Brent, Tyler Thomas, as well as Jonathan Burt. Which one of those 3 could find themselves up front? We know Texas Speed is a chat favorite, and they are still in the fight going for this win.
Yeah, they've got a good chance to lost the 4 of David McConnell, but I don't think he's got a lot of damage. He's going to be further back in the field, and this should set us up for the first attempt at a green-white checkered, I believe.
All right, let's take a look at some of these cars and see if we got any damage on these guys.
Window, so a potential for more spots to be gained if we see another wreck, because with 3 laps to go, it takes about a lap to get these cars up to speed. So not a lot of time for guys to gain ground. They're going to have to be aggressive from the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, we're still waiting for it to officially turn over. If the lights on the pace car go off this time, we will stay inside.
That's a big negative.
Go for a green-white checkered. But if the lights stay on after they cross the line, then we will officially go into overtime. So we're kind of just waiting to see. I know super speedway tracks, they are...
Well, when I asked you about a green-white checker, definitely called that one. Wish I could say the same for the lottery numbers.
Pace lap is almost 2 minutes in length, so we'll wait and see what officially is given to these drivers. Again, if pace car lights turn on, off, that is the indication of a 1 to go marker, and we are technically still inside of regulation time of our 81 laps that were expected to be ran here. To go through the travel, I mean, this is crunch time for the drivers. If you're just joining us, we just had our 4th caution and the first official big one of the night.
All right, man, line up on the inside row.
It certainly was a massive one of drivers that were trying to go 4 wide. Just did not work out. As it looks to be, pace car lights are up. We're going to stay inside of regulation and a green-white checkered here, Trevor.
Natural attempt at the green-white checkered, so that means technically, Sam, we still got 3 attempts to use overtime if need be. We'll have to wait and see if that's going to be a thing, but it's going to be led here to the restart. Chris Stitz on the inside, Norris to the outside with Tony Brent behind that of Christopher Norris. Will Bustler's going to be behind that of Chris Stitz. Then you have Joshua Altus, Christopher Wade as well. I mean, kind of going to be interesting. Not a lot of teammate help in that top 6 positions. Then you got the 2 Texas Speed teammates there on the inside line. Alex Jones, kind of the wild card in that outside line. He's been quick all night with Brian Wilson. So, I mean...
All right, sir, it's all go, no lift.
Yeah, Wilson's another one of those drivers that'll win, and he's in, as we've lost Ryan Lynch.
You ever seen 18th to 1st in 2 laps?
Earnhardt did it.
Because we're inside of a regulation for this green-white checker. This is how the rules are going to work. If we get a yellow flag on this first lap, we will head into...
Is Kenny Wallace in the field? Let's check.
If needed. And if we get our white flag and get the 1 to go marker, these drivers will race it out. It will not be a yellow after that point. It'll be about who can cross the line first and get the win. For Chris Stitz, Christopher Norris, for Stitz, this is a crucial time for himself. He entered tonight 12th in points. Was that cutoff driver where he could find himself being pounced out.
Pull those belts tight one more time.
Get ready. In a must-win scenario, gets it done.
This ain't even technically a green-white checkered either.
Himself in the victory lane, or he would prefer to see Brent, Norris, someone else that's already won this season, in victory lane. That works as well.
Yeah, we could have 3 more.
As the pace car pulls,
very possible.
It's time to see. Will we stay in regulation?
All right, let's get ready.
Overtime. It's here we go. It's the Campbell Racing 215 pace car into pit road. The long wait.
Go.
Into the restart zone for the drivers. The full set racing series. Race number 13 of the regular season is back underway. Here we go, Trevor.
You are clear high.
It's go time.
Stitz got a great jump along with the one of Will Bustler. Those 2 really good launch for one another. They're locked nose to tail. Norris trying to get help from the 28 ton sprint, and then behind them it's kind of all spread out.
Oh yeah, they're going to make it to the white for sure.
It's going to restart, so there's going to be a huge
2 wide like that.
These guys, which could be where the flash point is when they get this run down the back straightaway. But everybody's trying to they're trying to figure out who they want to go.
Going high.
Alex Jones trying to push the 94.
There you go.
Tyler Thomas jumps up in front of them, still side by side for the lead with Christopher Wade.
Oh my God, why is that car so loose?
Here comes the run down the back straightaway into 3.
Couple of drivers already bounced that third lane, but it's going to be 2 by 2 for our top 8 drivers. Zach Hole's going to be the lead. Third lane, but he's too far back. Needs a massive run if he's going to make it work. That's Tyler Thomas trying
white flag
to go high, and there's no wreck being shown. We're going through the triangle. We don't need overtime. We'll stay in regulation as we cross the line.
Stay low. Stay in it. Hold tight. Go.
6 drivers still racing.
Oh, and you split tagged. Come on.
A few drivers that need a win. Will Bustler goes high. Here we go.
What do you got to do?
Into turn number 3, it's Will Bustler, Chris Stitz, side by side. Christopher Wade's going to go to the outside. Here comes Norris, the 28 of Tony Brent, the Daytona winner. Norris all the way below the yellow line.
E15 right now.
From the 38, he gets into the 17. They're 3 wide through 3.
3 wide through 3. Will Bustler's getting a massive push for himself to Christopher Wade.
One of the fans got your back bumper cover as a souvenir.
The one machine might be enough, but he gets a bad tap. The one.
Oh, I love Talladega.
Space racing. Will he get hooked? And whoa, Will Butler wins and locks himself for the playoffs.
What a finish there. 5-car run to the end. And
Butler won.
Hangs on, gets the win, locks himself into the playoffs. Came in, I believe, that at the 8th or 9th in the playoffs, but gets the much needed win.
22.
Just comic.
No, 15. Just
15, yeah. I wasn't quite sure what you were saying 22 for a second there.
And
that's what I was saying on my screen. It took a while.
Oh, okay.
He's going to come home in 5th, but Sam, another great finish at a super speedway.
Yeah, I mean, out of everyone there, it was only Christopher Wade that could have locked himself in. That was outside of the top 12. But this is with a wreck that went through 1 and 2 that these drivers never even had a chance. Zach Hall sent up into the grandstands, practically into the fence, and never even had a chance to move on. Other drivers kept piling in. And it was just a simple 5-horse race at the end.
Made it there.
But
and then
didn't have the momentum
you're holding on to it.
To keep up with such drivers.
Bam.
Finally.
Bam.
Slow down where his car slides off the wall, and Butler almost.
Would that have been 1, 2, 3, 5? I could have got a top 10 there for sure if I would have saved it at this point.
Not the fastest way around the track
but I was.
Yeah.
Look at that rear end.
All 4 tires there at the end, and I think that's where he kind of left it for the remainder of this race. What a
finish. The bumper covers just like fly off.
Right away, the top 5.
I could not. I did the same thing I did last night. Just the back end just kept wiggling.
Sliding in the grass behind you.
From the middle of the racetrack, and I mean, he just drives it all.
What did the cone ever do to you?
How he doesn't clean out bits and weight.
I don't think I ever fully had control over it.
Miracle, but what a run!
All right, man. Good spot and good race. Thank you.
Yeah, you too. I'll catch up. If you're around on Thursday night, I think it's back at iRacing Super Speedway. So I'll see you then. If not, yeah, I'll see you next week.
That's is that the big like 2.5 mile?
That's 3 mile. That's like
3 mile.
That's a 3 mile high bank paperclip. Yeah.
Super
Speedway.
I should be there, and I definitely want to run that track.
Themselves a great finish here at Talladega, and
I'll see you then.
All right, take it easy. Have a good night.
Yep, take it easy.
But he gets it done for season 5 for himself. Well, for us up at the booth, we will step away.